Hello and welcome back to Highfleet. So, last game we got to the finish here, and, well, not finish, but we got to the checkpoint, and we just ended it there. In fact, didn't mean to do that. Um, oh wait, no, I did, yeah. Start the game again, restart. There we go. Okay. Right. So, I've done a bit of a redesign of a few things. In fact, I'll actually just quickly uh, I'll quickly go over them in the shipworks, just very quickly. So the I'm going to drop the anvil for now. I think it was a novel idea, trying the idea of like, what if I just got a few big ships and just sent them ahead and tried to do it that way. It didn't particularly work very well. Um, the So it's a cost problem. It's that once the armor's broken, this thing just goes up like a tinderbox. There's issues around that. Um, and I think until I've either redesigned this ship or got more money to be able to afford a wingman for both of these and the Hellfire, it's probably just not worth bothering with. And I think I might be able to. I'm going to try going back to the tried and true method that won us the first time, which is going with the small strike groups of corvettes. So we've got a redesigned Wasp. So this is the new Wasp. It features a couple missiles. We've lost those little wings on the side. It's all a lot more compact. The center is now this big sort of citadel full of like, yeah. So this is it is what you. I mean, I think it's a naval term, that the citadel, but it's, yeah, the big central squishy bit where all the armor, all the ammo and the fuel is. So if anything gets in, we basically explode. But I've tried my best to try and put the fuel behind the guns and the engines. So to get to them, you have to get through the armor, which, by the way, I've put these sort of diagonal strips on now of armor along these segments and try to shield the rockets as much as I can. And um, it's I've tried it out in the test. It's pretty formidable. Um, it won't be able to. It struggles against. It struggles against. What's it? Cruisers and so on. You know, gladiators, that type of ship. It will struggle because these are still 57mm cannons. They struggle to get through armor, but against fighters, it absolutely shreds them. But yeah, so that's a slight redesign. There's a little gap in the armor here. That's just so that these flares can fire off, so it can just poof flares out its backside. The amount of missiles it saves me from makes up for the fact that there's a small armor gap. So, um, however, then we've got the redesigned Hornet, which now looks a lot closer to the Wasp. The new redesign of the Wasp. I basically just uh, reloaded the Wasp, swapped out the guns, added the wings that are typical of the Hornet, and now we have that. So basically, what will happen here is we've got a number of rockets. We've got a again, same idea. This big section in the middle. So we don't want anything to be hitting us here, because if it does, this whole bit just explodes and sets on fire. So that's why it's now again covered in armor. The flares, because we've got these little wings, basically there's only 3 missiles here, and the section where the fourth would go, we've got an active protection system, we've got some flares, we've got the same on the top with the missiles from the Wasp. And the big change, though, as well as the missiles, is that these are dual 100 mils. So these are capable of going through larger ships. They're not super capable, but they get a lot of hits in, and if you just keep hammering at them, they will eventually just punch through and kill them. It's not going to be able to take on, say, a strike group or something, but if you wanted to, if you came across, say, a gladiator, this is the ship you would deploy. Lastly, the Wingman has had a slight redesign. It's been designed around two things that I've noticed. So the first is last time, so the bridge used to be further up, close to about here. And last time a missile came in and struck this top structure, and it just, even though the entire bottom of the ship was fine, the entire ship just exploded because the missile in question just struck the bridge that was positioned about here. Right? I don't want that happening again. I think it was a bit unlucky that that happened, but why rely on luck when you can kind of make your own here? So that's what we're going to be doing. The missiles have been mounted on the sides now, so as to not get in the way of all of this, because if they were sticking upwards, then... Now, this is the next thing I've found out. So, the effectiveness of the electronics. So, interesting. There's a few little things that I didn't know that I actually found out while just faffing around with this. I noticed that it's now... I don't know if this was a patch a while ago or something, or whatever, but I've noticed that it does actually track the stats for, say, like your radar range, your tracking, your E-lint, and so on and so forth. Now, some things, basically, so all of these, it's not just a case of, is there enough of a orange area that they're quote-unquote working. It's not like the missiles, yeah? With the missiles, if there's something in this area, it doesn't work. And that's it, right? With these, no. The more things that are in the way, the less its effectiveness is. So, for example, we've got the E-lint here, the E-lint system, electronic intelligence system. We look at the side here. It's 1.082 k kilometers, right? But it's 1082 kilometers. You look at the actual range on it, and it says 2k. It's 2 kilometers. So it's the same here. We'll look at the fire control system. It's 4k. We look down. Fire control. I think it's tracking, is it? Yes, it is tracking. We'll get 2.5. Yeah, just like here. We take this off. We look at the left side. We lose the E-lint. The E-lint is 1082, right? Whereas if it were on the top, for example, we get actually 1500. So that's not correct then. That's not labelled correctly. That's meant to be 2k. That's actually, yeah, E-lint 2k. It's actually only giving me 1.5, so that's mislabelled. But you get my point. You put it down here, and our E-lint is now 750, because half of it is blocked. But we put it here. Now, it's still not great. As we can see, there's like a sort of greyed out area on the side, but it's not red. That's because it's just travelling through this. Yeah, so this is a bit in the way, but it's only reducing the effectiveness, not stopping it. Right? Same here. There's some red because of this gun, but generally speaking, it's doing alright. And in fact, we might be able... No, actually. I'm just thinking we could maybe move that gun down, but I remember why now. It's if we move that down, it gets in the way of these jammers, and these will be down here, and they'd be in the way of these guns, and it's a mess. Right. Okay. So, basically, we've then got the fire control radar to detect targets and aim weapons at them. Right. Now, we look at that. We've got tracking 256 kilometers. We take this off. None. Put it back on. 257 kilometers. Right. Okay. So, what we can, so what we've got with that, so this is meant to be radar 400k tracking 400. So we're not getting the full 400 tracking, but by trying to keep as little in the way here, we're getting an extra 57 than we would if it were just one side that was functional. Of course, then we've got the radar at the top. Radar, we're getting the full 750 kilometers. Radar is probably the more important of the electronic systems, so that's why this is being prioritized. Plus, it's the most expensive, so you want to make sure your expensive equipment's working. And that's why the missiles are mounted sideways, because then we've got these jammers. Now, here's the interesting part. So, a lot of these don't stack, right? So I could put more E-lints on. So we get the E-lint 1,000 odd. We put one there. We could put one over here. It'll go up a little bit because now we're getting the full effectiveness in both directions, but they've not stacked. They can't go above the maximum of 1,500, right? They can't go above that. There's a cap. This same issue. We can put this on and it just won't stack, right? So guiding, we've got well, tracking, we've got 400. It's 400. We do have this guiding stat that's on 6. I don't know exactly what that is. Maybe it just means that it will home toward the target more, or maybe it's like we can fire more missiles simultaneously. I'm not entirely certain, but the tracking stat doesn't stack, and we don't want to have loads of these. They're 3,000 each. It's a bit ridiculous putting multiple on just for this guiding thing that I'm not entirely certain what it is. But then we've got this jammer. The jammers stack. They all stack. We now jam radars within 15 kilometers. So 15,000 kilometers. Anything within 15,000 kilometers gets its radar jammed. I'm not entirely certain as to exactly how this affects the enemy, because it certainly doesn't stop them raising the alarm. We know that. We've been using this ship. Even before this, so before it had, I think it was 3 jammers on each side. On this spot here, there'd be 3 jammers on each side. They're only half effective because of obviously the fuel tanks and various things blocking each side. But it still had 12,000 kilometer range, so I'm looking at it and I'm wondering, well, okay, so it had 12,000 kilometer range before. It doesn't stop them raising the alarm when it jams them, and they definitely, their missiles still lock onto us, so I don't think, even though the missiles are supposedly driven by radar, it can't be that crazy. I guess it just means that strike teams and things maybe get less warning as to our arrival, our approach, so to speak, so maybe that's it, but that's all I can really think of that it must do. But we have a few of them. They're there. There's maximum effectiveness as there can be. It does create this interesting and derpy looking like big spire here, but okay. And then I've gone and thrown a few extra guns on, just again to make sure that incoming missiles have a very high likelihood of just being shot down. So it's basically now got an integrated anti-air component to it. That's basically it. So a few changes. And we're going to start here. Right, new game, come on, there we go. It does that. When you start a new game but then cancel out, it kind of... It thinks that it's still sort of... The game's on, but it's not, and it does that. It's a weird little thing about it. No, don't do that. Wow, okay, you can actually delete them. So that's how you delete your custom ones. Right, but I'll be selecting this. We want a few wingmen. So we've got 3. And then we're going to take, let's see. Where is the Wasp? There it is. 27, and the Hornet is 35. Wow. Yeah. Maybe the solution here is to do as we did before, where we take... So we've got 3, we need 2. And I will actually just check. Let's design a strike group. So the range of this strike group is 582. Right? So that's our range. I could give him a Skylark. It has some electronics on. Not a crazy amount, but it has some. That would give him 1,000 range. A tanker, even better, a fuel silo, gives them 2.5. So I could just throw that in. It's a cheaper way of doing it, rather than using wingman all the time. The wingman, I definitely at least want 1 wingman and the Hellfire. So we've got a Hornet, a Wasp, and some of these. Okay, okay. So we can go. Same again. We can go Hornet, Wasp. We can go Skylark, fuel silo. Right. And I think we won't have enough for another, will we? That, Wasp. We would, but we wouldn't have enough for fuel then. Yeah, we'd have 4 grand to buy all of that fuel with. Good luck. I mean, it'd be enough to send off the... It'd be enough to send off... the strike groups, at the very least. Wouldn't it? We could send the strike groups out, and we would have enough to fuel at least 2, I reckon, to be able to get around, and then just a little bit of plunder. We might be able to swing that. I think we can swing that. We'll try it. Let's go. Northwest of here is where the first Tarkin is. So we have a lot of ships, as you can see. So rather than having a few big ones, we're going to have multiple small ones this time. Strategy will be first things first. All money goes here. Ha. Of course, we're getting absolutely nothing for that. Right. So we want to move towards here, and we also want to check out the northwest. So we'll fuel up as much as we can, and we'll try to swing this. So let's see, we want a Hornet, a Wasp, a Skylark, and a Silo. We want to give them full fuel. Okay, maybe we don't want to give them full fuel. That's enough fuel to reach the next area. Right, and again, Hornet, Wasp, Skylark, Silo. Bull would give them plenty. We just need them to get there. And then lastly, we haven't got enough fuel for this group, but we should get some bits of plunder in these, some nice loot. So they didn't get the Sudden Strike off. We probably want the Wasp for corvettes, it's better at it. Not to say that the Hornet can't fight for itself against corvettes, but the Wasp is just better. Ow. I think I will actually restart that one. I think I don't need to take that hit. Right, they shot their own guy. Always nice to see. Right, we nearly got him. We'll just let it load the cannons for a sec. There we go. Get a good hit in. So damage sustained, we've got slight damage on the evacuation pods there, and I think we've lost one, maybe, no, I don't think we've lost any armour there, but a bit of just cosmetic damage mostly. No missiles sneaking in like last time. Right, we want to immediately go for that, and it's gone. Great. Right. And we'll be doing the same here. When did we get incendiary? I guess, is it somehow carrying from that other... Yeah, is ammo... Are ammo types just... Is it all just one collective inventory rather than per strike group, I guess? That slogger is nearly gone. Right. The Navarin. There we go. Right. Ah, a lot better. I'm just going to stop saying anything. Tarkan ships far northeast of Zyram. Far northeast of Zyram. Right. Far northeast. Okay. Let's have a look here. Yep, they're searching for crew cabins. Over here we are getting crew protection. And then doing that. Okay, lovely stuff. Over here we want to go. And again. Oh, hang on. Got to wait. People free for the taking. We forbid slavery. Right. We have nothing to sell. Unfortunately. And over on this side. At least I've got a little bit of fuel. And there's our Tarkan. Right. Where to go at? Yep. Very proud of Lame. We'll give him the small pot. And he has joined. I'm going to go to the shipworks. I'm going to sell this immediately. Wow, we really can't go far, can we? We're going to have to sell a ship. The Archangel's really good. But it's not stupendously amazing. It's not like... We do need the funds, so we will be getting rid of that. We'll do our repairs. 6 hours, no cost. Supplies, much better. He'll probably be annoyed that we just sold his ship, but... oh well. Don't think of it as we lost a paladin. Not paladin, an archangel. Don't think of it as we lost an archangel. Think of it as having gained a large amount of fuel, money, and just supplies to go on. So, we'll get our fuel stocks up. We'll get this open here. And there we go. Right. Fueling is being done. We've got a radio message. No, and come on. Yes, I'm aware. Come on. You let go of the mouse one time when you're doing this and it clicks it off and does all that. There we go, we're on to something. there. Arrival in less than an hour, speed, it doesn't tell us where they're travelling, so that's useless information, basically. Now, the question is where we're going to head from here. Definitely want to head here at some point. I think if these can go to us. Not clicking on that, I'm clicking on these. Right, there we go. And these will probably want to go to Sardar, I guess. Right. Yeah, the Wasp and Hornet are actually not great at strikes now. He's preparing. He thinks that we should send the Skylark in. Wow, that is an interesting tactic on his part. Right, Wasp again. I will actually use missiles on that. Well, he might have just shot it out of the sky, but that opened up that's something you have to keep in mind with the missiles as well. It's not going to always kill them, but it opened up a gap where he was having to reload his main weapons, which gave me the opportunity to basically just blast him with mine, knowing that he was reloading. Why are they all... that was awful. Every single one of them about to explode. Couldn't get a single one. I'm gonna have to go for fuel. Right, same here. We know what we're doing. Oh, the Courageous is nearly dead already. Surprised that hasn't done it, actually. Oh, the fire burnt him out. There we go then. Right. Just trying to avoid as much of that as I can. More hits. There we go. I think we've taken no damage there. That's a bit nuts. The Wasps of each iteration, they get that much better, I will admit. Earth is reporting a heat target. Okay. Where's this? Here.
Attention, visual contact.
Yeah, that... wasp just took a nasty hit there. We will have to finish the refueling here. What have we got here as well? What have we? Right. That's a nasty hit on the wasp. I suspect there's a strike. Oh. The room they take you to is well lit and spacious. Several guests already reposing at the long dining table. The master of the house has saved the best seats for you and your companions. Excellent meal, slow leisurely conversation. I have heard many stories of Saidi wisdom. Will you be so kind as to answer a question for me, Grand Duke? 2 men are stranded in the desert. One carries a jug full of water. If both drink from it, both will die. But if only one drinks, he will have the strength to reach the village and survive. What will be the right thing to do? There we go. Give it to the... yeah. There's no greater love than to sacrifice one's life for a friend. The old man shakes his head. But if your fellow traveller accepts your reward, would that not make him a murderer? Wow, that basically wrecked this. Okay. Tactical. Aircraft. There. Strike group is on the way. Okay. Okay, Wasp, Skylight, Fuel Silo, Pull. Land here. Oh, hang on. Wait, what's it done there? Hang on, right. Wasp, Hornet, Hellfire.
Warning, radar emission detected.
Right, let's pause. Let's pause. No one's going anywhere. Right. Wasp, Hornet, not Hellfire, not Wingman, Skylight, Fuel Silo, full fuel, land here. Right, these, full fuel, can start to move up. So the strike group should now come down here to this group. Should. Fingers crossed. Ooh, got a bit of damage from that, but... got him. We've got a breach bottom right side. Ah, that's why we're having issues. It's a gladiator. Right, I think it's time to leave. Yeah, before we take too much damage. go. Hornet. This thing is designed for literally this scenario. Right. There we go. We've already shredded most of the armour off. There we are. Definitely going for this first. Group protection. We don't want the Wasp to be going in on this one first. It's going to have to be the Hornet. It'll just have to pull a bit of extra weight. I'm going to hit the Slogger with a missile. It's quite a nasty little ship when it wants to be. It's got a big cannon on it. And when you can just kind of do that, it's worth doing. Wow, that thing flew that. Got him. Right. So we are... Oh, we absolutely are going for that. Well, again, healing from... It's going along there, isn't it?
Thermal signature detected. Attention, visual contact. Visual.
Yeah, they're just missile striking me at the moment.
Thermal signature detected.
Luckily, though, we have ended up taking some damage on the Wasp. Ooh, that's a Skylark, probably badly damaged. No, not the hull. Crew protection. Here we want to... When it clicks on... Oh, apparently it's all done. Okay. Facts. No, I don't think we can get both done. Here come the anti-air. Not anti-air, here come the aircraft, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. The Wasp isn't going to be sitting pretty after that. No, is the... Yeah. This strike group is... Yeah, we've lost the Hornet. We're down to the Wasp. And we really can't do very much about it. It's still got its landing gear. That hasn't.
Fire reverse thrusters. Beginning final approach. 500 meters. 300 meters.
Yeah, it's lost too many thrusters.
100 meters. Throwing it ready. Touchdown confirmed. Abandoned ship.
Right. That landing will kill us.
Beginning final approach. 500 meters. 300 meters. 100 meters. Throwing it ready. Touchdown confirmed.
Just cancel, we can't land it. Yeah, it's lost all the thrusters on this side. What we could do is repair to the point where it has a thruster again. We'll have to sell some things, of course. Right, let's repair to where it's got thrusters. Okay. .7 hours. Okay. Let's start there. Got more E-lint. We need to refuel here.
Attention, visual contact.
That's probably us dead. I'll be honest with you. We're probably dead. And the Wasp is good, but I don't think it's that good. And they're using proximity ammo, so it's just going to be proc spam. But we can try and get them to shoot themselves with missiles, that's always fun. Yeah, we're barely even scratching the armor. We need the Hornet for this, really, more than anything else. Right, they're into the Citadel. Underside armour is gone, so we want to try and get them from below now. Oh, and my guns have glitched out. That's always nice. You could see all the shells then just sort of floating in the air. Yeah, happens now and again, that. Fuel is low. We are through the bottom of the Griffin here. And there we are. We're gone. I will say it's the only issue with this strategy. That we basically yeah, using this strategy basically it makes us very vulnerable to the strike groups, I think. Last time a strike group comes across our big ship and it's like, oh well, it's designed for dealing with that. If I can maybe retreat these and just try to get them out of the area. Oh wow, they hit me with every single one of those. It's the one thing with proximity shots, I do find that they're definitely proximity shots. They're not designed as a really hard hitting shot, but it's more just it makes up for the AI's inaccuracy, and it really bugs me that. Yeah, we're not even going to get the fuel. We're not going to get either of the support ships out on this. Yeah, we're gone. Right. Right, they've found out we're here. And this group there's the little story thing we were doing. We will get some supplies. It's enough. And we will then set off. Got a few repairs to do here. Got some fuel to buy.
Warning, radar emission detected.
Right, at 90 degrees. They'll probably go past the Wasp on the way. If they hit the Wasp, it's probably done for. There's not much I can do. Right, they're gone. Ow. Right, they're gone. Oh, courageous, that's nothing. Really, that? Oh! That wasn't good. Yeah, that missile kind of swung up then. It went for the flares, but it had already swung up a bit too high. Right, they're nearly gone. Yep, there they go. No missiles for you this time. There we go, much, much better. Little to no damage taken. And we just got a bunch of guns. That's great, that. That's absolutely fantastic. Right, we can get this repaired, it'll not take long. A bunch of guns sold, that's a great amount of plunder. There we go. And we can fuel up. We'll let the Wasp repair a bit, but we will be heading to somewhere where we get better repairs. Or in fact, I could always do this to full. I could always get more fuel, and head to Haran? We'll think about it. Healing 30 they are on us. That's probably aircraft. Let's see what comes. 60. Thanks for the Wingman as well. We've now got quite a large amount of like healing radius here. Let's see what happens. Also, could I hit with a missile? No, not quite. I assume, yeah, we're fueled and ready to go here. We want that taking out before we do anything. What might be an idea? We might want to move to a shod. Okay. We've got enough fuel to get to Haran. The Wasp is mostly repaired. There's the strike group, that's what I'm wanting. We can get more tactical data, so we know. Mostly I wanted to know where all the carriers and things are, really. Right, let's get some revenge. And then I think we can call that an episode. Right, that one's gone. That one's gone. Where's the last? Oh, hello. Gone. All of them destroyed. Oh wow, that's a lot of stuff. Protective suits. Expensive thing first. Then there's this. We've got radar, nice. 130 or a bunch of missiles. This has got less time. I think we can swing both.
Attention, visual contact. Attention, visual contact.
There's another strike group, isn't there? Oh, I bet there is. Right, good stuff.
Signature detected. Attention.
And then the ammo's gonna detonate. In fact, yeah. Ammo safe, there we go. Right. where can we head from here then? I think we're gonna go through this way to a shod. We'll get all that plunder sold. The repairs probably won't cost much. They'll take a couple of hours. Yeah, just some scuffs on the armour to fix. This will be the son of what's his face, won't it? Because the session times, there's no, it's not diminishing in any way, so there. So probably mob, right? We'll go through to Bal here, and here we will head over to a shod once we have the fuel. But before we get carried away, I'm going to call that an episode there. I think we'll move. In fact, I'll put this as well. We'll go here, here, here. This side, I think we want to move through here. We want to go for cheaper fuel. Where is the next? It's up there, Engedi. Get some intel. In fact, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's plan to go to In fact, that's a good point. I'm trying to plan now where I'll go, because if here I'm going to go in this direction, it makes sense to destroy that aircraft carrier. Which means then, right, this one, I need to take out as many hostile targets as I can. So we'll take out this aircraft carrier with the Hellfire. But we'll then go over here with this group, get fuel over to Engedi. And we'll make some similar moves here, maybe going just the more places we hit, the more things we can get, the more basically loot we can accumulate, and that's kind of the goal here. There. Something like that is kind of the working plan at the moment. We'll also want to, at some point, I'll do it next episode, but we'll probably want to look at the range, and in fact, it'll only take a moment. We'll look at the range, see what the end game will look like on this. Try to get it as close to 2,000 as I can. That's not bad. That's not bad, honestly. So the left side can be held by a group stationed here, and then 2 groups here and here. The right side, you'll need 2 groups, probably here and here. But that's actually pretty good. That's a really good roll on that. There's not a lot of cities around it. That's been pretty generous. Right. But that's the strategy. Hopefully we'll have better luck. We've not had great luck with these strike groups so far. The main issue, I think, and I pushed it a bit hard, we didn't quite have enough funding to get us started and fuel at the beginning. Honestly, we probably should have taken 2 strike groups. But hey, we risked 3. It's not too bad. We would have only taken 2 anyway at the beginning, and then just spent the rest on fuel anyway. So taking that 3rd one, we got a bit of money worth out of them. But, and you never know, we might be able to, if we find a tanker and a few other ships, we might be able to recreate that group later on down the line. The general strategy here is, as I mentioned, just try and visit as many locales as possible, because every time we visit somewhere, we want to avoid moving the Hellfire, because again, every time we land somewhere, we have to do a little fight, we tend to win, and we then get some loot, right? And if we get a couple of guns, we can refuel our entire strike group to go to, you know, another 2 or 3 locations, and as long as one of those gives us, you know, about 4 grand worth in guns, we can refuel and move on. So it's just about getting these strike groups to visit as many locations as possible, but trying to get the enemy strike groups to hit the Hellfire. So by leaving the Hellfire in the same location for far too long and trying to just attract attention to it and divert attention away from the strike groups, which are constantly moving, we should hopefully, as I mentioned, just be able to send those out, get plenty of money and things, because essentially what the strategy is to just get the Hellfire to Kiva. That's all that matters. Every other ship can be destroyed as long as the Hellfire gets here and in, you know, decent condition. If it does, we basically then we can just destroy whatever's at Kiva and then send out the rest of our fleet to various locations around. But all that matters is that the Hellfire gets there, and it gets there safely, right? That ship can single-handedly win the end game, basically. And all this with the strike groups and everything is just all about getting the money, because each jump from location to location with the Hellfire is, I think it's like closing in on 10 grand to fuel the thing at this point. Yeah? So, you know, you can almost count, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 in money need to get to here, and you start counting it again. We can sell them nukes, of course. You know, the nukes will probably pay for 3 or 4 more jumps, so the nukes here can probably get us to the nuke silo here, which can probably get us to there with the Hellfire. You just have to kind of hit that critical mass, that snowball, where you're making enough money to get you through to the next jump, where you're going to get enough money to jump from this one to the next one, so on and so forth. The strike groups are trying to get us extra money along the way for things like repairs and buying other things, you know, other ships, maybe not having to use all of our nukes, that sort of thing. It's all about economy, really. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.